Hey folks, David Hill with SolveFixBuild. I'm going to try an experiment that I'm going to show you. I'm going to smoke 2 pork butts overnight. And when I say pork butt, I mean pork shoulder, because that makes a lot of sense. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to have these 2 pork butts, and I'm going to lather them up with just a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's, not a lot. And I'm going to do a mixture of coarse black pepper, some Lowry salt, some powdered onion, and some powdered garlic. And then I'm going to put one on the upper level of my Weber Smokey Mountain. And then I'm going to put this one inside this cast iron pot with a little bit of apple cider in the bottom. I'm going to see which one comes out more tender. So got them lathered up, not trying to get too crazy here, just give them some flavor. And I'll show you how the smoker's set up. So this Dutch oven is a Griswold number 10. And it was from my father-in-law, and he is an expert on these things. He restored this. He actually used electrolysis to clean it, and then he re-coated it with in the oven with oil to give it back its finish. So what I wanted to do with these things is I don't want to wrap my food in foil, and so that's why this is an experiment. This smaller butt I will put in there, and I will let it cook that way. So here's the Weber Smokey Mountain set up. I got this prepped, and I got a piece of maple there that I'll throw in, and then I'll light these guys off tonight, and I'll dump them in here to get it started. In there I have some apple cider and over 2 gallons of water. I filled it as high as I could because I want to make sure that it stays humid in there. I think the purpose of this experiment is, I know from slow cooking food that you just got to keep it as moist as possible, and you got to keep that environment humid. And you can do that in the oven if you put foil over the top of your pasta. You can do that in the slow cooker. You can do that in the pressure cooker. As long as you keep moisture in there, the meat comes out tender. And basically, the longer you cook it, the better it's going to get. So my plan is tonight, I'm going to fire this up sometime around 11:30. I'm going to put the meat on around midnight. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up 6, 7 o'clock, and I'm going to come down. I'm going to see how it's doing, and that way it would have been going for probably 6, 7 hours at that point. If the larger butt will have probably shrunk some, both of them will have. And I might drop the larger one into the Dutch oven and put the cover on it and then just let it go for another 3-4 hours. Or I might just leave it, just depending how it's looking. But the final result will be, did we succeed in making a nice, moist, tender pulled pork? And I'll let you know how it comes out. So this will be the setup. So the water pan with the Weber Smokey Mountain is underneath. On the first shelf is the Dutch oven with the apple cider. This guy will go on top. But after that's lit and getting ready to go, then I'll put this on top and we'll be smoking. On the menu will be coleslaw and scalloped potatoes. So I took it out to let it equalize in temperature. And I'll be waiting to put this on the grill here soon. I could have chose a better night. I got my fire started. It's going pretty well. I want that temperature to get up to about 225 at least. We'll see. So the trick with the Weber Smokey Mountain grill, and I'm trying to be quiet because there's people asleep and it's late. I know that it will last a good amount of time. It'll be at least 6.5 hours with the current charcoal load that I've got in it. So it should go fine overnight. I mean, I've monitored probably 5 or 6 separate smokes during the day with the same heat load, and I've actually put more liquid in it than I normally do. So this should work all right, but we'll see. I'm at about 175 degrees right now. About ready to put the meat on. Oh yeah. Alright, the weather has calmed down a little bit. I just took the air intakes and turned it back a little bit. So I still have plenty of water. I took these guys out for a second, and I'm going to consolidate the big one and the little one into that Dutch oven. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to finish it off for another couple hours. So the way this works is we want to get it real nice and hot. Get as much fuel going down there as possible. Really start cooking this thing hard and let it steam it. It's already got the smoky flavor. Now we're basically slow cooking. So it went for about 7.5 hours overnight, and it's been in the Dutch oven for about half an hour. Right now I'm sitting just right around 200 degrees. I'd like it to get a little warmer, but I'm just going to leave it alone and let it stay this way for at least 2 hours. And see what we get. Since I was going to have to cook a lot longer, I just decided I didn't want to dry the little one out, and so I put them both together in that Dutch oven. I was debating about doing that anyway, but the idea of separating the two and cooking the two differently is really now moot. So we're just going to let this go, and this will be the longest smoke I've ever done. It's going to be well over 10 hours, I think, when it's finished.
Zelda inside of your Zelda. Remember the princess name?
The small one's definitely over around 160. And cheating in the name of science. So I basically ran out of fuel. I mean, my charcoal was going away by 10 a.m. or so. So it smoked for 7.5 to 8 hours out in the open, and then I put it in the Dutch oven for another 2 hours. And since I'm running out of fuel, I had to put it in the oven. But I'm gonna let it go in there for another hour or so, and hopefully when I pull this thing apart, it'll be nice and tender. We'll see. Alright, scalp potatoes are cooking. Then I'm gonna take that out and let it rest. So about 3 hours total. And I'm just going to let that sit for a bit. So they're still resting, but I'm going to open this up and just let it continue to cool down. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what I was looking for, was this fat layer splitting up. It smells good. Wish you could smell it. There they are. So the moment of truth is when they fall apart. We'll see how they do. Oh yeah, it just comes right apart. No problem there. Let's see about the big one. Here's the shoulder blade. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, yep. That's what we wanted. Want that blade to come right out. Just clean. Yes.